Hello everybody, my name is Mr. C. Ferrante, and today I'll be taking a look at the Sunken Forest, Limspace classification, difficulty 4 out of 5. Survival is hard due to the random scattering of resources and the distance between large colonies. Entity count 0 out of 5. There are no known entities inside of the Sunken Forest. Chaos gradient 2 out of 5. The Sunken Forest has never been documented to alter itself in any way, although the foliage has been observed to grow over time. There are also high probabilities for flash flooding to occur, but these seem to be somewhat natural. Bassett-Fraser Index 2 out of 5. The Sunken Forest is somewhat anomalous, but overall it seems to be rooted in its base form. Description: the Sunken Forest is a vast underground biome filled with darkness and trees, and shaped in a series of narrow dirt-covered tunnels through the earth. Some of the foliage grows upwards out of the ground, as you would expect, but a lot of the plants seem to disregard what up and down are, choosing instead to grow out of the walls and ceiling of these underground spaces. Dirt covers everything. Its peaty settlement made of dead leaves and shale, mixed with a fairly rancid assortment of droppings and damp clumps of moss. Your feet sink into the ground slightly as you step through this spongy, crunchy cavern. The structure of the forest can alter itself. It can be trees sprouting out from the ceiling in a slim hallway of dirt, leading to an expansive area where wildlife lives. These shifts make the Sunken Forest a hard place to navigate, but shifts are extremely uncommon. When they do happen, it is advised to move out of the area because you can be crushed to death in between the shifting trees and walls. The wildlife that lives in the Sunken Forest is assumed to come from baseline reality. You can find crocodiles, birds, and many other animals inside the Sunken Forest. Trees may have symbols inscribed onto them, which when followed lead to colonies. If you need to get directions to a colony, it is advised to look for these symbols. There is a seasonal system inside the Sunken Forest, with trees and plants dying after a year in baseline reality passes. They seem to bloom after another year passes in baseline reality. The Sunken Forest acts as its own self-sustaining area outside of reality, while also being the only threshold to the Abyss. The Abyss. Within the Sunken Forest lies a great pit, the entrance to the Abyss, which is a limspace system of itself. This sinkhole is a point of no return. All who enter the Abyss are lost, never to return to baseline. Once you do enter, you should find yourself in the ruins. Our scouts are currently writing an article documenting these ruins. Research on the link between the forest and the Abyss has been documented by Dr. Eliza Kane. Her logs can be found below. Dr. Kane has a reputation to spread false and slandering information on the 80 FRS, so some of her research has been destroyed. Please bring all other research found to the 80 FRS base alpha, so we can make sure of its destruction. Eliza Kane's personal logs. Visit 17. Observations. We have 2 men going into the Abyss. Bless their souls. So far, based on past observations, we have concluded that the first section of the Abyss seems to be some ruins. We will continue further research. Visit 20. We seem to have found a structure. Radio comms from our men seem to show that it used to be a church of some sort before it was somehow destroyed. They are searching the ruins. We have also been observing the sinkhole leading to the Abyss. There seems to be runes spread across the sinkhole, making it some gateway. We will continue further research. Visit 21. Observations. Our men are dead. They ran into something or someone that took them out. We shouldn't have started digging through that church. I don't know what's going on. The sinkhole seems unstable, and the runes are starting to disappear. We will continue further research. That is all the logs we have permitted for reading. Footnote. The ADFRS stands for the Abyssal Deep Field Research Society. They were formed by the Brazilian government after a threshold was found in Rio. They are dedicated to the documentation and discovery of the Abyss. Population. The population is mostly comprised of the animals that reside in the Sunken Forest. There are human beings inside the sunken forest, but most of them are ADFRS officials, and about 35% of the population are people who found themselves in the sunken forest after going into the threshold. This 35% formed a colony deal with our forces there. The deal was that the ADFRS would provide them with resources and build them shelters. In return, they would provide information about the sunken forest when they found it. This alliance is how the entrance to the abyss was found. This 35% has situated itself around the sunken forest. They have cabins built from trees, and tree houses situated all around their colonies. They hunt for food, and are always accepting of newcomers. Entrances and exits. Entrances. You can enter by entering an undisclosed threshold in Brazil. This threshold has not been documented fully yet. Exits. You can exit into the abyss by going into the sinkhole. You can also exit by no-clipping, sending you into the back rooms.